Have you been waking up with mysterious aches and pains in your legs, despite taking your medications regularly? Or maybe you've noticed more stiffness in your joints after certain meals. Today, I'm going to share something that might surprise you, something your doctor may never have mentioned about your breakfast choices. Did you know that eggs, which many of us eat daily for protein and nutrients, could actually be causing inflammation and leg pain when combined with certain foods? It's not the eggs themselves that are the problem, it's what you're eating with them that could be silently triggering your discomfort. I've spent years researching nutrition for seniors, and what I've discovered about these food combinations has helped thousands of my viewers find relief from chronic pain. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which 7 foods should never share a plate with your eggs, especially if you're over 60. This information could be the missing piece in your health puzzle, the reason why those pain medications aren't working as well as they should, or why you feel fine one day and terrible the next. And I promise, these aren't complicated changes, they're simple adjustments that could dramatically reduce inflammation and pain in your body. Before we dive in, take a moment to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so you never miss life-changing health advice from wise elderly tips. And if you're struggling with unexplained leg pain or inflammation, type, "I need this," in the comments below so I know who I'm helping today. Now, let's talk about why these food combinations are particularly problematic for seniors. As we age, our digestive systems become more sensitive, our metabolism slows down, and our bodies produce more inflammatory compounds naturally. This makes us much more vulnerable to dietary triggers than when we were younger. What might have caused minor discomfort in your 40s can trigger days of pain in your 70s and beyond. Let's explore these problematic combinations one by one, starting with perhaps the most beloved breakfast pairing of all time. Food number 1, processed meats, bacon, sausage, ham. For generations, bacon and eggs or sausage with your morning omelet has been considered the quintessential American breakfast. The savory aroma of sizzling bacon alongside fluffy scrambled eggs probably brings back memories of family breakfasts and weekend mornings. But this beloved combination could be the hidden source of your leg pain and joint stiffness. I had a viewer named Richard who emailed me after watching one of my videos. He was 72 and had been suffering from severe leg pain for years. His doctors had run countless tests, prescribed various medications, but nothing seemed to help. It wasn't until he eliminated his daily bacon and eggs breakfast that he noticed a dramatic improvement in his symptoms. Here's the science. Processed meats like bacon, sausage, and ham contain extremely high levels of advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. These compounds form when meat is processed with salt, preservatives like nitrates, and then cooked at high temperatures. AGEs are directly linked to inflammation in the body, particularly in the blood vessels and joints. When you combine these meats with eggs, you're creating a perfect storm in your body. The protein in eggs slows digestion, meaning those inflammatory compounds from processed meats stay in your system longer. For seniors, whose bodies already struggle with eliminating toxins efficiently, this combination can trigger inflammatory responses that manifest as pain and stiffness in the legs, knees, and feet. Many people make the mistake of thinking that their morning pain is just normal aging, when it could be directly linked to this inflammatory breakfast combination. Instead of bacon or sausage with your eggs, try pairing them with anti-inflammatory proteins like beans, a small portion of wild-caught salmon, or even avocado, which contains healthy fats that actually fight inflammation rather than cause it. Now, let's move on to another common breakfast combination that might be causing you pain. Food number 2, refined carbohydrates, white bread, bagels, muffins. Eggs on toast. Scrambled eggs with a bagel. An omelet with a muffin on the side. These combinations seem perfectly innocent, don't they? That's what Martha, an 83-year-old viewer of mine, thought too. She couldn't understand why her knee pain was worse on some days than others, despite taking the same medications. The answer was sitting right on her breakfast plate. Refined carbohydrates like white bread, bagels, pastries, and muffins cause rapid spikes in blood sugar, especially in seniors whose metabolic systems naturally slow with age. When your blood sugar rises quickly, your body releases inflammatory messengers called cytokines that can settle in your joints and blood vessels, particularly in weight-bearing areas like your knees, ankles, and feet. The problem becomes even worse when these refined carbs are paired with eggs. Eggs are a protein-rich food that slows digestion. This means the sugar from those refined carbs stays in your bloodstream longer, extending the inflammatory response and potentially causing more damage to your joints and tissues. Many seniors believe that as long as they're getting protein from eggs, the bread they pair it with doesn't matter. This is a dangerous misconception. The inflammation caused by these refined carbs isn't just temporary, it becomes chronic with regular consumption, making every step feel heavier and more painful. Instead of white bread or pastries, try pairing your eggs with fiber-rich alternatives like steel-cut oatmeal, sweet potatoes, or even a slice of true whole grain bread that contains visible seeds and actual whole grains. These complex carbohydrates release sugar slowly into your bloodstream, preventing those inflammatory spikes that lead to pain. I've had countless viewers tell me that simply switching from white toast to steel-cut oats with their morning eggs made a remarkable difference in their mobility and comfort throughout the day. Isn't that worth trying? Food number 3, cheese, especially processed varieties. There's something undeniably satisfying about a warm, cheesy omelet or scrambled eggs topped with melted cheese. But this combination could be particularly problematic for seniors suffering from inflammation and leg pain. Let me tell you about James, an 82-year-old retiree who emailed me about his experience. His cheesy eggs were a daily tradition, until his physical therapist helped him make the connection between his morning meals and his afternoon leg swelling. When James eliminated cheese from his egg dishes, the swelling in his ankles and the aching in his knees diminished significantly within just a week. Cheese, particularly processed varieties, contains high levels of saturated fats, sodium, artificial additives, and a milk protein called casein. Research has shown that casein can trigger inflammatory responses in many people, especially those over 60 who may already have declining gut health or undiagnosed dairy sensitivities. As we age, our digestive system becomes less efficient at processing dairy proteins, making it harder to break down heavy foods like cheese. The saturated fat in cheese also promotes inflammation by activating specific immune responses in the body. When you combine cheese with eggs, both rich and dense proteins, it creates a slow-moving, hard-to-digest meal that sits heavily in the stomach and sends distress signals throughout the body. The result? A cascade of inflammatory responses that often manifest as swelling in the knees, aching in the calves, or tightness in the ankles. A common misconception is that all protein sources work well together. However, the combination of different animal proteins, especially when one is high in fat like cheese, can overwhelm an aging digestive system. Instead of cheese, try adding nutritional yeast to your eggs for a cheesy flavor without the inflammatory effects. Or add some avocado. It provides healthy fats that actually help reduce inflammation rather than promote it. Many of my viewers have reported that simply removing cheese from their egg dishes led to noticeable improvements in joint pain within days. It's a small change that could make a big difference in your quality of life. Food number 4, nightshade vegetables, tomatoes, peppers, potatoes. Martha prided herself on her healthy vegetable-filled omelets, packed with tomatoes and bell peppers. She couldn't understand why her joint pain seemed worse on the days she enjoyed this healthy breakfast. The answer lies in a family of vegetables that many people don't realize can be problematic: nightshades. Nightshade vegetables, including tomatoes, peppers, potatoes, and eggplants, contain compounds called alkaloids that can trigger inflammatory responses in sensitive individuals, particularly seniors. These vegetables contain solanine, a natural pesticide that plants produce to protect themselves. While these vegetables are nutritious for many people, they can increase inflammation for those with existing joint sensitivities or autoimmune conditions. The problem becomes particularly pronounced when nightshades are combined with eggs. Eggs contain arachidonic acid, which can be converted into inflammatory compounds in the body. When paired with the alkaloids in nightshades, this combination can create a compounding effect that intensifies joint pain and leg discomfort in sensitive individuals. Many of us have been taught that adding vegetables to any meal makes it healthier, and while this is generally true, the type of vegetable matters significantly for seniors with inflammation concerns. If you're experiencing unexplained leg pain or joint stiffness, try eliminating nightshade vegetables from your egg dishes for 2 weeks and monitor how you feel. Instead of nightshades, try pairing your eggs with anti-inflammatory vegetables like spinach, kale, or broccoli. These leafy greens contain antioxidants and compounds that actively fight inflammation in the body rather than potentially triggering it. Many of my viewers have reported significant improvement in their pain levels simply by swapping tomatoes for spinach in their morning omelets. Remember, not everyone is sensitive to nightshades, but for those who are, the impact on inflammation can be substantial. Listen to your body and notice if your pain levels change when you remove these vegetables from your diet. Food number 5, sugar, jam, jelly, ketchup, sweetened drinks. There's something nostalgic about a little sweetness in the morning, a spoonful of jam on toast alongside eggs, a splash of ketchup on your omelet, or a glass of orange juice with breakfast. For Robert, a 75-year-old viewer of mine, these small indulgences seemed harmless until he began tracking his pain levels and realized they spiked on days when he included these sweet additions with his eggs. As we age, our tolerance for sugar declines dramatically. Our pancreas becomes less efficient, insulin resistance rises, and what once seemed like an innocent treat now becomes a powerful trigger for inflammation and nerve irritation. When sugar enters the bloodstream, it causes spikes in glucose and insulin that directly inflame the delicate tissues around joints and blood vessels. The combination of eggs with sugary condiments or beverages is particularly problematic. The protein in eggs slows down digestion, which means the sugar from your jam, ketchup, or juice stays in your bloodstream longer, extending the inflammatory response. Over time, this leads to a condition called glycation, where sugar molecules attach to proteins in the body, stiffening tissues and damaging joints. Many seniors believe small amounts of sugar can't hurt, especially when the main dish is healthy protein like eggs. This misunderstanding leads to consistent low-grade inflammation that manifests as persistent leg pain, joint stiffness, and reduced mobility. The hidden sugars in products like ketchup, which contains high fructose corn syrup, can be especially deceptive. Instead of sugary additions, try fresh berries or a sprinkle of cinnamon with your eggs. Both offer natural sweetness while actively fighting inflammation. Use herbs and spices instead of ketchup to flavor your eggs, and opt for water or unsweetened tea instead of juice with your breakfast. These simple switches can lead to dramatic improvements in inflammation levels. I've had numerous viewers tell me that their chronic pain diminished significantly when they eliminated these sugary additions from their breakfast plate. Sometimes the smallest changes can make the biggest difference in how we feel. Food number 6, margarine or artificial butter substitutes. Dorothy switched from butter to margarine years ago, believing it was better for her heart. She couldn't understand why her joint pain and leg stiffness persisted despite this healthy choice, especially on mornings when she enjoyed her eggs fried in margarine. This is a story I hear all too often from my viewers who were given outdated nutritional advice decades ago and are still following it today. The truth about margarine and artificial butter substitutes might surprise you. They're actually inflammatory nightmares for aging bodies. These products are manufactured through processes that create trans fats and other compounds that are extraordinarily damaging to our cells. While many margarines now advertise being trans fat-free, they still contain processed oils and artificial additives that trigger inflammation in the body. As we age, our cells become more fragile, our joints more vulnerable, and our bodies more sensitive to the quality of fat we consume. When margarine or butter substitutes are used to cook eggs or spread on toast served with eggs, these altered fats produce oxidative stress that breaks down collagen in the joints and restricts blood flow to the legs. The combination is particularly harmful because eggs contain cholesterol, which, when exposed to oxidized fats from margarine, can create compounds that damage blood vessels and joint tissue. A dangerous misconception is that anything labeled heart healthy is good for your whole body. The truth is, these artificial fats can cause widespread inflammation that manifests as numbness in the feet, aching in the calves, throbbing knees, or even cramps that seem to come out of nowhere. Instead of margarine, try cooking your eggs in olive oil, avocado oil, or even a small amount of real butter, which contains fat-soluble vitamins that support joint health. Many of my viewers have reported significant improvements in their mobility and comfort simply by switching from artificial spreads to natural fats. Remember, inflammation is at the root of most chronic pain conditions, and what you cook your eggs in matters just as much as what you eat alongside them. Food number 7, fried foods, hash browns, French toast, donuts. John loved nothing more than his Sunday breakfast of eggs with crispy hash browns fried to golden perfection. After years of enjoying this ritual, he noticed his knees and ankles would swell dramatically by Sunday afternoon. The connection? The combination of eggs with fried foods. Fried foods, whether it's hash browns, French toast, or donuts served with your eggs, create a double burden of inflammation in the body. The high temperatures used in frying change the chemical structure of oils, creating compounds called advanced glycation end products, AGEs, that trigger inflammation. For seniors, whose bodies already produce more AGEs naturally with age, this additional exposure can be particularly harmful. When combined with eggs, which require significant digestive resources due to their protein content, these fried foods overwhelm the body's detoxification systems. The resulting inflammation often settles in the joints and lower extremities, where circulation is already compromised in many older adults. The oils used in frying become oxidized at high temperatures, creating free radicals that damage cells throughout the body. When these oxidized oils are consumed alongside eggs, which contain natural cholesterol, the interaction can create even more inflammatory compounds that target joint tissue and blood vessels. Many seniors assume that occasional indulgences can't cause significant harm, but for those with existing inflammatory conditions or sensitivities, even one meal combining eggs with fried foods can trigger days of discomfort. The effects are cumulative, too. Regular consumption of these combinations can lead to chronic inflammation that becomes increasingly difficult to resolve. Instead of fried sides, try roasted sweet potatoes, steamed vegetables, or fresh fruit with your eggs. These options provide satisfaction without the inflammatory aftermath. If you absolutely love the crispy texture of hash browns, try roasting diced potatoes with olive oil and herbs in the oven instead of frying them. This method creates less inflammatory compounds while still giving you that satisfying crunch. I've had countless viewers tell me that substituting roasted vegetables for their fried breakfast sides led to dramatic improvements in their comfort and mobility. Isn't enjoying your day without pain worth this simple change? Now that we've examined these 7 inflammatory combinations, you might be wondering why they affect seniors so much more severely than younger adults. The answer lies in the natural changes that occur in our bodies as we age. As we grow older, we begin to experience a condition called inflammaging, a term scientists use to describe the low-grade, chronic inflammation that characterizes the aging process. Our immune systems become less efficient at regulating inflammatory responses, making us more susceptible to dietary triggers. Additionally, our digestive systems produce fewer enzymes, making it harder to break down food properly. Our metabolism slows, meaning inflammatory compounds stay in our system longer. And our kidneys and liver, the organs responsible for filtering toxins, don't function as efficiently as they once did. These age-related changes create the perfect storm when we consume inflammatory food combinations. What might have caused minor discomfort in your 40s can trigger debilitating pain in your 70s and beyond. For those with pre-existing conditions like arthritis, diabetes, or heart disease, these inflammatory combinations can be even more problematic, exacerbating symptoms and potentially interfering with medications. The inflammation triggered by these food pairings doesn't just affect your legs and joints, it can impact your entire body, including your heart, brain, and digestive system. The most troubling aspect is that many older adults don't make the connection between their meals and their pain. They attribute their discomfort to just getting old, when in reality, their diet might be the primary driver of their symptoms. I understand this information might feel overwhelming. Perhaps you're reflecting on years of breakfast habits that could have been contributing to your pain. It's natural to feel discouraged or even a little guilty about unwittingly causing harm to your body. But I want you to see this knowledge differently, not as a source of regret, but as an opportunity for transformation. Imagine waking up without that familiar stiffness, walking to get your mail without wincing, or playing with your grandchildren without having to sit down every few minutes because of leg pain. These simple changes to your breakfast plate could help make that a reality. The emotional toll of chronic pain goes beyond physical discomfort. It can lead to isolation when you decline social invitations because you know you'll be uncomfortable. It can strain relationships when loved ones don't understand why you're irritable due to constant pain. It can rob you of your independence and confidence when simple tasks become challenging. But you now have powerful information that many of your peers don't possess. You understand that inflammation isn't just something that happens to you, it's something you can influence through your daily choices. Rather than feeling limited by this knowledge, I hope you feel empowered by it. Try making just one change this week, perhaps replacing your toast with some berries alongside your eggs, or swapping out bacon for avocado. Notice how your body feels in the hours and days afterward. Keep a simple journal to track any changes in your pain levels. This awareness alone can be transformative. Now that you know what to avoid, let's talk about what you should pair with your eggs for a delicious, satisfying, and anti-inflammatory breakfast. Avocado, rich in healthy fats that actually fight inflammation. Leafy greens like spinach, kale, or Swiss chard, packed with antioxidants. Olive oil, contains oleocanthal, which has similar effects to ibuprofen. Sweet potatoes, provide complex carbs with anti-inflammatory properties. Berries, full of antioxidants that neutralize inflammatory compounds. Turmeric, add a pinch to your scrambled eggs for a powerful anti-inflammatory boost. Mushrooms, contain unique compounds that support immune function. Many of my viewers report that simply incorporating these anti-inflammatory foods with their eggs has led to significant improvements in their comfort and mobility. One viewer, Elena, who's 77, told me she can now climb stairs without pain for the first time in 5 years after making these dietary changes. Remember, this isn't about depriving yourself, it's about making smarter choices that allow your body to function with less interference from inflammation. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress toward a life with less pain and more freedom. To recap what we've learned today, eggs themselves aren't the problem, they're actually packed with nutrients that can support healthy aging. It's the combinations that matter. The 7 foods to avoid pairing with eggs are processed meats, refined carbohydrates, cheese, especially processed varieties, nightshade vegetables, sugar and sweeteners, margarine or artificial butter substitutes, and fried foods. Instead, try pairing your eggs with anti-inflammatory foods like avocados, berries, leafy greens, olive oil, sweet potatoes, mushrooms, or herbs and spices like turmeric and ginger. These combinations don't just avoid harm, they actively promote healing and reduce inflammation in your body. I'm curious, which of these food combinations surprised you the most? Or which one do you think might be affecting your health? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your experience might help another viewer make the connection between their diet and their symptoms. If you found this information valuable, please consider subscribing to Wise Elderly Tips. Each day, we share practical advice designed specifically for seniors who want to maintain their independence and improve their quality of life. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update that could make a difference in your health and well-being. And if you know someone who's struggling with unexplained leg pain or inflammation, please share this video with them. The simple changes we discussed today could be the solution they've been searching for. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Remember, your breakfast plate holds more power than you might think. It can either feed inflammation or fight it. The choice is yours, and now you have the knowledge to choose wisely. Until next time, this is Wise Elderly Tips, wishing you comfort, mobility, and joy in your golden years.